Chapter 1. A World of Fame, Success, and Illusions. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had always been a symbol of unyielding strength, success, and confidence. His life appeared to be the perfect embodiment of a dream. Dazzling red carpet lights, cheers from thousands of fans, exclusive interviews, and endless blockbusters. On this very evening, he was preparing for one of the most high-profile events of the year, a prestigious awards ceremony, where every step and every word was expected to reflect his impeccable image. From early morning on, a team of stylists, makeup artists, and PR managers surrounded him, ensuring that every detail of his appearance met the high standards of a beloved celebrity, not only admired for his power and courage, but also for his genuine humanity. Amid the shimmering lights and flashing cameras, Dwayne confidently strode through the hall, each minute accompanied by admiring glances and hushed whispers of the crowd. Yet beneath this assured exterior lay a complex inner world, filled with contradictions and unresolved questions. In solitary moments, when the attention of millions faded into the background, he would wonder, what is true fame? Can the sparkling flashes of cameras and loud applause ever replace deep emotions, the warmth of loved ones, and that special bond formed between a man and his loyal pet? This thought often woke him during quiet nights, as the echoes of past moments rang louder than the clamor of the public. On that fateful evening, the focus was not solely on the external glitz, but also on the delicate balance between public life and personal experiences. Amid the brilliance of the lights and festive mood, his heart was warmed by the image of his faithful companion, a pet who had been by his side not only during moments of triumph, but also in times of trial. That attachment served as his true anchor, unlike the fleeting fame that the modern world of show business so often offered. His ability to remain human amid the relentless public gaze was admirable, for every step he took was built upon years of hard work, trials, and personal victories that he valued far more than any glittering trophy. Every minute of the event's preparation was filled with rituals meant to highlight his status, while simultaneously reminding him that behind the public facade lay a living heart full of emotion. Friends and colleagues, watching his calm smile, never suspected that inside Dwayne lay quiet, deep reflections on how sometimes an overemphasis on external success overshadows the true wealth of the soul. He recalled his early days, when every obstacle seemed insurmountable and every victory was nothing short of a miracle. Now, at the peak of his popularity, he wondered whether he had lost the sincerity with which he once pursued his dreams. In the moments leading up to the ceremony, Dwayne spent his final minutes alone amid the bustle and glitter, trying to grasp the answers to long-neglected questions. He realized that in a world where money and fame are the measures of success, true happiness is found in simple pleasures, a quiet conversation with loved ones, the gentle touch of a friend, and that priceless feeling when the heart finds peace. His thoughts flowed from grandiose events to these vital, understated moments, and this newfound clarity began to transform his inner world. In these moments, he understood that even at the pinnacle of success, one can remain true to oneself if they do not forget what is truly important. Thus began a story in which a world of fame, success, and illusions gradually gave way to deep humanity, prompting the hero to seek answers to questions long hidden behind a dazzling image. That evening promised to be a turning point, a moment when the realization of true values would awaken new strength for change, reminding him that behind the flash of cameras and roaring applause always lies a genuine soul yearning for sincerity and simple joys. Chapter 2. The Unforeseen Incident, when time seemed to stand still. Amid the midst of the festive ceremony, when the hall blazed with the light of spotlights and thunderous applause filled the air, everything changed in an instant. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was confidently strutting down the red carpet, exchanging smiles with fans and greetings with colleagues, when, at the very moment he least expected it, his loyal pet, a large, gentle dog named Titan, began to behave strangely. At first, it appeared as if Titan was merely engaged in playful antics. He slowly lost his usual buoyant energy, his movements became awkward, and his eyes no longer sparkled with joy. But soon, those around him noticed something was amiss. Friends and staff reacted immediately. One of his assistants, Jason, hurried over to Dwayne, speaking in a worried whisper. "Dwayne, Look, Titan seems to be in pain. Something's wrong with him. Dwayne, leaning in with concern, asked in a trembling voice, "What happened, Jason? He's always been so lively. Could this just be a momentary ailment?" However, when he attempted to comfort his dog with a gentle pat, Titan flinched ever so slightly, as though reacting to every touch. In that moment, the previously jubilant atmosphere of the hall fell into an uneasy silence, and even the resounding applause faded into a distant echo. Behind the scenes, a security guard named Alexei rushed over with a phone in hand, ready to summon the veterinarian. Meanwhile, Dwayne's assistants quickly gathered around, trying to understand how to manage this unexpected situation. "Hang in there, Rock," Jason reassured softly. "We're getting everything organized. Titan, my dear, everything will be all right." Feeling his heart pounding, Dwayne could hardly believe that such an unforeseen incident had interrupted the celebration. "I never imagined I'd have to face such a problem at this very moment," he thought, clenching his hand which throbbed with anxious energy. He knelt beside Titan, studying the dog's weary expression intently. "You won't let me down, buddy," he murmured, stroking Titan's fur tenderly. "We're in this together." His words were not a command, but rather a sincere plea for his friend to recover. Soon, Dr. Marina, a renowned veterinarian known for handling such emergencies, entered the hall. Assessing Titan's condition swiftly and exchanging a few words with Jason, she announced, "It appears that Titan has sustained a minor muscle injury, likely from overexertion. We need to transport him to the clinic for a more detailed examination." "But how?" Dwayne protested, his voice filled with worry. "The ceremony is just beginning. I can't leave Titan here alone." Dr. Marina smiled with understanding as she replied, "Some may think the timing is unfortunate, but I am certain that health comes first. Your pet needs our help now, and as his owner, you must be there for him." Dwayne nodded, feeling each word pierce his heart. "You're right, Marina," he said with resolute determination. "Titan is my family, and I cannot allow his suffering to go unnoticed." At that moment, the hall, once filled with celebratory cheer, was transformed into a space of care and genuine empathy. Some guests exchanged glances, silently acknowledging that even in the spotlight of fame, human feelings and the love for those close to us prevail over the glittering facade. A young journalist remarked quietly to his companion, "You know, moments like these reveal that behind every celebrity's image lies a real person with a heart full of care and love." Dwayne carefully lifted Titan into his arms and, almost in a whisper, said, "True strength lies in the ability to care." His voice quivered with emotion, yet his words resonated with a firm resolve. With the help of his staff, he gently transferred his pet into a special transport, where Dr. Marina awaited. Before departing, Dwayne paused for a brief moment, gazing into Titan's eyes, and promised, "We're together, my friend. I promise, everything will be all right." Thus began a moment when time seemed to slow down, a moment in which every glance, every word, and every movement was imbued with deep humanity and care. This incident would forever serve as a reminder to Dwayne Johnson that even amid the dazzling lights and roaring applause, the true richness of life is measured by love, attention, and the willingness to pause for those who truly matter. Chapter 3. A Turning Point, Looking Within and Realizing True Values. After the fervor of applause and the hectic pace of the ceremony gave way to a disquieting silence, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson found himself on the verge of an unexpected inner awakening. Sitting quietly in a waiting room where only the soft glow of a few lamps penetrated thick curtains, he clutched an old photograph, a treasured gift from his mother that had always served as a beacon, reminding him of the true values he had once held dear. "How could I have forgotten that what matters most is love and warmth, not the dazzling lights or the roar of the crowd?" Dwayne mused, gazing into his own reflection in the dark window. His voice was barely above a whisper, reminiscent of a prayer filled with a nostalgic yearning for the lost simplicity of childhood and the everyday joys of familial care and heartfelt conversations. At that moment, an old friend and colleague, Mark, approached him and quietly took a seat nearby, his eyes filled with concern as he studied the celebrity's troubled expression. "Dwayne, you look different tonight, as if everything inside you has been turned upside down," Mark observed gently. Dwayne, slightly embarrassed yet honest, replied, "I feel as though everything I've done until now was merely a mask. Now, when Titan needs me, I realize I've lost touch with what's truly important." "When was the last time you felt true serenity?" Mark paused, reflecting on simpler times. "You know, sometimes to find what's real, we must first lose the illusions. We become so enamored with the glimmer of success that we forget what it means to be human, he said softly, offering comfort. For several hours that night, Dwayne's thoughts wandered back to a time when success was not the only compass in life. He recalled the days on the playground, the first lessons, the initial victories, and, most importantly, those quiet evenings spent with loved ones. These memories served as a mirror, reflecting not the star the world saw, but the ordinary man, capable of deep emotions and genuine love. Throughout the night, his mind kept returning to the question, what have I lost by immersing myself in illusions? He felt a new energy stirring within him, a desire to reconnect with his past, to fill his life with the authentic values that cannot be measured by trophies or contracts. In that moment, as his close friend Alice entered the room, one who had stood by him through the early struggles of his career, she noticed the deep worry in his eyes and gently asked, "Dwayne, what's wrong? Your eyes say so much. Do you feel like you're losing yourself?" "Yes, Alice. I've come to understand that behind the glare of cameras and the superficial applause, I have forgotten what it means to be genuine, to truly care for those close to me. I no longer want to live by someone else's standards," he replied, his voice resolute. Alice took his hand tenderly and continued, "Listen, we often seek validation in a world where likes and applause measure our worth. But true strength lies in the capacity to love and be loved, in seeing the world with unclouded eyes. Perhaps it's time to re-examine everything you've built around you." Her words ignited a spark within Dwayne, a clear signal that change was inevitable. He realized that every moment holds the potential for renewal, for a return to one's roots, and the embrace of those timeless values that are beyond measure. Real wealth is in love, friendship, and those moments when you feel truly alive, he murmured, as his heart filled with newfound meaning. In the quiet of that night, surrounded by close friends and under the gentle light of the moon, Dwayne Johnson allowed himself to look inward and admit, sometimes, to rediscover oneself, one must pause, let go of the past, and bravely step toward change. That moment marked the beginning of his transformation, a time when even the stars seemed to halt in anticipation of his evolution, reminding him that the essence of life is hidden in the simple, sincere moments of staying true to oneself. Chapter 4. A New Path, Rebirth, Transformation, and the Bold Choice to Change. After a long night of self-reflection, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson felt it was time not only to ponder, but also to act. Awakening at dawn, he sensed a burgeoning desire within him, a yearning to rethink his life, shed the weight of his familiar image, and pursue true happiness beyond the confines of glitz and fame. His gaze was no longer fixed solely on the flash of cameras. It now penetrated deeper into a world filled with genuine emotions and authentic love. The very next morning, in the comfort of his cozy home, Dwayne gathered a small circle of close friends for an earnest conversation. Among them was Alice, whose unwavering support had been invaluable during his period of change, and a new acquaintance, a wise mentor in personal development named Sergey, whom Dwayne had met by chance at a self-improvement seminar. "Dwayne," Sergey began, looking him steadily in the eyes, "change always brings fear, but it also offers a chance to discover the true riches of the soul. Are you ready to leave behind the world where success is measured by applause and to search for the real meaning of life?" Dwayne paused for a moment, then answered with genuine determination, "I understand now that my life can no longer be just a stage on which I perform a mask. I want to return to what truly matters, to love, to the simple joys, to authentic interactions with close friends and nature. I am ready to embrace change." Alice smiled warmly and added, "This is a brave decision, Dwayne. Change requires courage, but it opens up new horizons. Let's find ways to restore harmony in your life. You deserve to live authentically, not according to someone else's script." And so began the first steps of his transformation. Dwayne decided to take a brief break from his hectic schedule and retreat to a secluded place, far from the relentless noise of the city and endless film shoots. He chose a small lakeside cottage where every sunrise whispered gently through the curtains and evenings were wrapped in serene silence. There, alone with his thoughts, he began to practice meditation and yoga disciplines that had once seemed foreign to him. Each new day brought not only physical rejuvenation but also an inner balance, allowing him to see the world in a refreshed, vibrant light. One morning, as the sun poured through the window onto his veranda, Dwayne sat quietly, lost in thought, and spoke aloud. How strange that all these years I searched for happiness in the bright lights and loud applause, when it was so close, in the quiet of nature, in a simple conversation, in the smile of a friend. His words were overheard by Ivan, a local guide who often led tours through the area. With deep respect for the changes he witnessed, Ivan said, "Mr. Johnson, I see how your perspective on life has transformed. Here, in these humble moments, you find what no grand spectacle can offer. Nature heals the soul and reminds us to forget the clamor of the big world." Encouraged by the support, Dwayne began to immerse himself in the local community. He started organizing charity events for animal shelters and participating in environmental initiatives aimed at preserving nature. Every encounter and every conversation with ordinary people filled him with joy and reinforced the belief that change was not about abandoning the past, but about building a future where true values come first. At one such event, while addressing a small, sincerely engaged audience, Dwayne shared his experience. In the past, I believed success was measured by the number of followers, applause, and sensational headlines. But today, I realize that true success is the ability to listen to your heart, to share love, and to be of service to those around you. If I can change my life, perhaps you can find your own true calling. His words resonated deeply with those present. After the talk, a young volunteer named Marina approached him with an earnest smile. "Your words have given me hope," Marina said warmly. "I've always dreamed of helping others, but was afraid to take the first step. Thank you for showing us that even small actions can change the world." Over the following days, Dwayne felt his life becoming imbued with new meaning. He resumed physical activities, reconnected with old friends, and even began learning the basics of cooking wholesome meals, not only for himself but for those in need. His once turbulent inner world, long clouded by tension and expectations, now blossomed with the vivid hues of autumn, symbols of transformation and renewed life. Each evening, he would gather with Alice and Sergey to discuss the day's events and plan for the future. In these conversations, words of support blended with the deep wisdom born of life's trials and the sincere desire for change. Step by step, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson let go of his former persona and embraced new horizons, where true wealth was measured not in awards and applause, but in heartfelt warmth, trust, and love. His resolve became an example for many, proving that the bold choice to change can transform a life, filling it with purpose and harmony. Chapter 5. The End and the Future. A new life filled with meaning and love. Several months had passed since that fateful day when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's life was irrevocably changed. The inner world that had once been consumed by the noise of fame and endless film shoots was now filled with tranquility, love, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. Every new dawn was greeted with gratitude for the chance to live another day in harmony with himself and those around him. Days turned into a tapestry of quiet mornings, each beginning with meditation by the window of his new home nestled in a tranquil corner where nature reigned supreme. Far removed from the hustle of city life, he had discovered the luxury of pausing to listen to the whispering wind and feel the steady rhythm of his own heart, free from the deafening clamor of a metropolis. In his life, there was no longer room for fleeting applause or sensational headlines. Every encounter, every word carried meaning. On a sunny day, Dwayne gathered his small yet close-knit group of friends and kindred spirits. Among them were Alice, who had been a steadfast pillar of support during his transformation, Sergey, the wise mentor with whom he often discussed future plans, and several new acquaintances who had become his anchor in the pursuit of inner harmony. "You know," Dwayne began, addressing the group, "I used to believe that success was measured by the number of followers and the volume of applause. But now I understand that true success is about being true to yourself, loving and caring for those around you." Alice, smiling gently, added, "Dwayne, your journey inspires all of us. You've shown that even the brightest stars can rediscover their true essence when they dare to let go of the past and embrace inner harmony. We all see how much happier you are now." Sergey echoed their sentiments. "Change always carries a risk, but it also opens up the possibility for growth. Your example reminds us that each of us can find our own path if we learn to listen to our hearts." After this heartfelt conversation, Dwayne set out for a walk along the nearby paths, relishing the simple joys, the rustling of leaves, the melodic chirping of birds, and the gentle murmur of a stream. Every detail of nature seemed like a new beginning, a symbol of renewal and perpetual rebirth. Pausing by a small bridge spanning a river, he leaned on the railing and reflected aloud. "I always dreamed of change, yet I was afraid to leave the familiar behind. Today, I understand that life is not just about on-screen success. It's about every moment spent with loved ones, every shared laugh, every word of support. This is the true essence of happiness. On his way back, his phone rang. The caller was Maria, a young volunteer with whom he had recently collaborated on a charity project for animal shelters. "Hi, Dwayne," Maria said warmly. "I just wanted to tell you that your example has inspired me to take bold steps. We're organizing another fundraiser for the shelter, and I believe your involvement would make it truly meaningful." Dwayne smiled and replied, "Thank you, Maria. Every time I learn that my actions have helped someone, I feel that my life gains a new purpose. I would be honored to join your initiative." This conversation was a poignant reminder of how much he had already achieved by stepping away from the harsh glare of fame. His new priorities, helping animals, supporting his local community, and caring sincerely for people, had become the foundation of his renewed life. Later that evening, in a cozy cafe where he met with a few old friends, the topic of change arose once again. One friend, Alexei, remarked, "Dwayne, you have become a different person. Once, your life was scheduled minute by minute with shoots and events. Now you show us that true wealth is found in moments filled with meaning and love." Dwayne nodded quietly, his eyes reflecting gratitude and a calm certainty. He knew challenges still lay ahead, but he was ready to face them with an open heart and a clear understanding of what mattered most. Each new day was a chance to be better, to make a positive impact on those around him, and, above all, to remain true to himself. Thus concluded the story of transformation, a tale that not only marked a turning point in the life of a superstar, but also served as an inspiring example for anyone searching for their way in a world of fleeting glitz and transient achievements. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had discovered his true self in the simple, sincere moments of life, and his future now promised to be filled with light, kindness, and deep, enduring meaning.
If you enjoyed this story, we'd love for you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to continue sharing heartwarming, inspiring stories almost every day.